for you. It's our garden party show, because you know what? Sometimes there's nothing more fun than getting the girlfriends together and having them over for a little luncheon. I've been meaning to do that with my tennis gals. I got to do that. Or having some coworkers, Deb and some friends over after work, just chilling out on the deck and relaxing a little bit. You know, I think going out to eat is fabulous, and sometimes you just got to do that, but there's nothing like just cashing out at home with a few friends over. And we have just some super fun ideas. You know, if you've got a great garden or just a deck or a patio with a flower pot on it, we got you covered as far as the menu and just some super fun ideas. You know, I think when it comes to entertaining in the summer, you can't go wrong with a great, big, wonderful pasta salad. And let me tell you, I make a few really good ones. And I brag about that a little bit, and I don't mean to brag, but I've made some bad ones in my life, and I think we've all had some not so great pasta salads. So I thought to myself, I am going to figure this out, and I'm going to start to try and make perfect pasta salads. So this first recipe makes a big batch of bow tie pasta salad with a little bit of Greek flavor in it, topped with some feta cheese. But I want to give you some of my secrets and tips to making a really good pasta salad. So not only could you do this recipe, but whatever kind of pasta salad you're doing, I think that you can take advantage of some of these tips and just make the best pasta salad ever. So sip of coffee. I better get to work. We've got a jam-packed show. Okay. Big pot of boiling water. We're going to use bow tie pasta in this pasta salad because I think they're really cute. And anytime I can use bow tie pasta, I do it. Pinch of salt into that water. Always season the water you're boiling your pasta in. It really is that only chance to flavor that pasta a little bit. You know, season it just a little bit and let that cook. The first tip I'm going to give you about pasta salad is don't overcook your pasta. That is absolutely huge. We want to cook that al dente so it's got a little bit of a bite to it. When you know, kind of like the same idea when you're making potato salad, if you overcook those potatoes, they mash up on you and it becomes like a mashed potato salad, and that's not good. We want a little bit of a texture to our pasta salad. If we overcook the pasta, the noodles get mushy, and just like, you know, in a casserole or in macaroni and cheese, nobody likes mushy noodles. And you know, for a pasta salad, those noodles really need to stand up to everything that's going on. Okay, let's talk a little bit about the dressing. I'm going to make a nice light dressing, and you can use oils. Experiment with different oils, experiments with different acids like vinegars. Today I'm going to do a really light one with olive oil and lemon juice and just some herbs, and it's going to be wonderful and light. So I'm starting out with a half of a cup of olive oil. And then I've got some fresh lemon juice. So that is one of the other keys. Make your own dressing. You don't need to use bottled dressing. Sometimes those are just too strong and they take over the whole salad, and all you can taste is that bottled dressing. So, you know, olive oil, lemon juice, some herbs, just doesn't get much easier than that. Want to make sure we don't have any seeds. Looking good. And I'm going to use about the juice of 1 lemon, unless you've got real little lemons, but this looks like a perfect one. So half of a cup of olive oil, the juice of 1 lemon, some salt and pepper, and then you can either use dried. I'm going to use some fresh oregano because I happen to have some. So if you know, today's show is all about a garden party. So if you've got some fresh herbs, hey, by all means, use them in this recipe. If you don't, dried oregano would be fine too. The one thing about dried oregano, it can be very, very strong. So, you know, maybe about a teaspoon of dried oregano, and because I'm doing the fresh, I'm going to do a tablespoon or so, a little bit more. Really flavor this up nicely. My husband Bob loves pasta salad, and so does my mom. So I try and make a lot of pasta salads in the summer to take to the beach, pack in people's lunches. I like this one because there's no mayo, so you don't have to worry about the whole mayo thing if the sun is shining and you're eating outside. I'm also going to throw some parsley in here, and I want to save some of that parsley for the top. This happens to be just Italian flat leaf parsley, and I've talked about that before. Whenever you're cooking with parsley, and a recipe calls for actually, parsley in the recipe, you want to do Italian flat leaf parsley. You don't want to use the curly parsley. That curly parsley was meant to just decorate a plate with, and that's about all it's good for. It just doesn't have that great flavor. So we're going to garnish the salad with a little bit of parsley, but we're also going to throw a little bit of parsley in this dressing. And I try and mince it up pretty good. We're almost there. So I've got my oregano and my parsley. So that's the dressing. It's that simple. Now let's talk a little bit about when to make a pasta salad, because I think that's the other key thing. Pasta salad is one of those things that really is best to toss it together and then serve it within the next hour or two. So you could make this dressing ahead of time, although it's that quick. I really think that it's best to make it, let it sit in that dressing for about a half hour or an hour and serve it just like that. Now, we're talking about a party. We're talking about people coming over. So you've heard me talk about putting a game plan together. Get as much done as you can ahead of time. So that may mess you up a little bit. You want this pasta salad done. Let's say you want it done. This is one of those things, I really don't like to do pasta salads a whole day ahead. I like to at least get it done. If you need to do it ahead, do it 3 or 4 hours ahead. Toss it together that morning and then recheck the dressing situation right before you serve it. May need a little more olive oil, may need a little more lemon juice. What happens is when you get that pasta salad back in the fridge, that pasta tends to soak up the rest of that dressing, so you don't want a dry pasta salad. So yes, you can make it ahead. I wouldn't do it a full day ahead. Now, every pasta salad is different. This one happens to be oil and lemon juice. Now, if it's a mayonnaise pasta salad, that one you could do a little bit ahead, a day ahead. This one, with being so fresh, I really like to do it just an hour or so, maybe a few hours before, but checking that dressing right before you're serving it. So in go our fresh herbs. Going to give it lots of fresh color. I'm going to save a little bit of that parsley for the top. I'm going to whisk that together. And that's our dressing. Doesn't that look fresh and yummy? Are you a big fan of pasta salads, Deb?
I love pasta salads. They taste like summer.
Yeah, they do. But we've all had that one that wasn't so good. You know what I mean? So that's my goal. This one's a good one. Really good. Sometimes you get bored with sandwiches and want to just do a salad. Okay, this pasta looks great. I'm going to just get it drained, and it'll continue to cook a little bit while I'm putting the rest of the salad together. So in that colander, it's all going to keep nice and warm. So I'll let that just keep there and cool a little bit and continue to cook. Let's get to work on the veggies. We're going to put a lot of nice color in this pasta salad. It's a garden party. We want this pasta salad to look really, really pretty. So I'm going to do some zucchini and some yellow summer squash. Depends. Whenever I'm picking out zucchini or summer squash, I try and go for not like the medium or smaller sized, because if it gets too big, it can get bitter on you. And it's real important to wash, and especially if this is coming right from the garden. I sometimes will take, a scrubber and really scrub that zucchini and that squash, especially the zucchini, because it can get sand in there and gritty, and we don't want any of that sand or grit in our pasta salad. All right, so we're going to make this look real pretty, so I thought we'd do kind of like half moon slices here. Cut off the ends. And the zucchini is going to really work nicely. Don't even need to cook it. It's going to have some nice crunch. It's going to work great with that lemon vinaigrette that we've got going on. Pretty, just get that right into our bowl. So things that you can do ahead, you can have your veggies all chopped, you can have your dressing done. We're going to throw some grilled chicken breasts in here just because we happen to have some left over. It's up to you whether you want to add a protein or not. So your chicken can be done, everything can be done, and then just toss it, half hour or so before serving. So that's one way to kind of do things ahead. I wanted to put a lot of vegetables in here because it's a garden party, so the rest of that zucchini in here. Deb went ahead and was so kind, and because I asked her to. She took some grape or cherry tomatoes and just halved them. So that's going to add that pretty red color in there. So maybe about 1.5 cups, just kind of whatever you had. You don't have to measure everything. I want to get some of this yellow summer squash in here, and I'm going to do the same thing with this, is just do those little half moons. So we've got yellow and red and green, lots of pretty colors, really bright, sunny. Hopefully you'll have a sunny day for your garden party. But what the heck, if not, move it inside. I'm going to throw some baby spinach in here. And I'm just going to give it a rough chop. This is a great way to sneak in some extra protein and iron, and spinach is just so good for you. Just some extra goodness into that salad, and it really works in here. I try and sneak spinach into a lot of my pasta salads, just because it looks so pretty, and it's, like I say, it's good for you. Popeye liked his spinach, so we'll get it in there. All right, as I said, I happen to have some leftover chicken, and I'm always trying to, do a couple extra pieces. So I'm going to throw some grilled chicken breast in. If you don't have any, leave it out. Grilled shrimp would also be fabulous in here. Toss that with that dressing, and now we've got to get our pasta in here, right? Ooh, it turned out perfect. Just tell it's just al dente. And it's nice if it's a little bit warm, the pasta is. It's not hot, but a little bit warm. Just get all that water out. That's important too. We don't want to water down our dressing. In that goes. Looking for my tongs to toss it together. Just want to make sure every bit of that pasta gets coated with that great dressing. Look at how pretty that is. And just really fresh. Now I'm going to do some feta cheese, just because I like, in most of my pasta salads, some sort of cheese. I like cheese in everything. But I'm going to do some crumbled feta cheese in the salad and then on top for a garnish. And I picked up, this happens to be just the plain feta cheese, and I always buy it in the block. I think same goes for blue cheese. I think that it's just fresher if you crumble it yourself. But I thought this one would be a fun one. It's a tomato and basil feta cheese. So if you wanted to, change things up a bit, that's kind of a fun one. All right, I think we're ready to rock and roll. And this you can just serve in a big, pretty bowl, great with some rolls, a fruit salad, a wonderful dessert, and we've got the most fun dessert for your garden party coming up in just a little bit. Just some fun ideas to show you. And then, as I was saying, check to see if you may need a little more olive oil, and if it looks a little dry, especially if you're making this a few hours ahead and you're refrigerating it. That's when a lot of that oil can be absorbed. All right. Gorgeous bowl, pile it all in. Biggest bowl you have. Deb, does this look fresh and wonderful?
It does. It looks like summer.
I know. This can be a great side too. If you're just keeping it without the chicken, grill it, serve it with grilled chicken breast. Some more of that feta cheese on the top. A little more of that parsley. And there you go. How good does that look? Ooh, find me a fork. I'm excited about this one.